Late night texting can make or break attraction, and most men don't even realize it. They think sending just one more text before bed is harmless, but that's where everything goes wrong. At night, her emotions are heightened, her guard is down, and your words hit differently. Text the wrong thing, and you'll look needy, clingy, or desperate. Text the right way, and you'll leave her curious, smiling and thinking about you as she falls asleep. The truth is, women don't forget how you make them feel at night. If you come across as weak, she'll lose respect. If you create mystery and strength, she'll wake up craving more of you. Most men kill attraction with the wrong late-night messages, and they never even know it. But not you. Today, I'm going to show you the worst things you can text at night, why they destroy attraction instantly, and what to do instead so your texts build desire instead of killing it. Point 1. Never send the "Are you awake?" text. This is one of the weakest, most attraction-killing texts you could ever send at night. Think about what "Are you awake?" really says. It doesn't show confidence, it doesn't spark excitement, and it doesn't carry mystery. It screams boredom. It screams, "I have nothing better to do, and I need your attention to fill my empty space." That's not attraction. That's desperation in disguise. Women read between the lines more than men realize. When she sees, "Are you awake?" late at night, she doesn't think, "Wow, what a strong, intriguing man." She thinks, "He's lonely. He's needy. He's checking if I'll give him validation." And the moment she puts you in that category, you've lost ground, because attraction isn't built when she feels like she's the center of your world. It's built when she feels like she's trying to earn a place in yours. Here's the truth. Women want a man who has a full life, who isn't lying awake hoping for a reply to kill his boredom. A high-value man doesn't need to send a phishing text just to see if she's awake. He's too busy being focused, tired from his grind, or simply disciplined enough to know his time has value. When you text, "Are you awake?" you hand her all the power. You're saying, "My night depends on whether or not you respond." That's weakness. The stronger move? You don't initiate pointless late-night conversations just to fill silence. If you text her at night, it should have intention. A playful message, a light tease, or a quick check-in that adds value, not a dull, desperate question that puts her in control. Better yet, sometimes you don't text at all. Let her wonder what you're doing. Let her imagine why you didn't blow up her phone before bed. That mystery builds more attraction than any "Are you awake?" ever could. So lock this in. Never send the "Are you awake?" text. It's not harmless. It's a slow leak that drains your value every time you do it. If you want her thinking about you at night, don't hand her proof that you're needy. Show her you're the man who ends his night with strength, not begging for attention in the dark. That's the energy that leaves her checking her phone, wishing you had texted, but respecting you more because you didn't. Point 2. Stop sending the "Good night, beautiful" text. Every night on the surface, it sounds sweet. It sounds like something women would love, being called beautiful before bed. But here's the harsh truth. When you send "Good night, beautiful" every single night, it doesn't come across as romantic. It comes across as routine, predictable, and needy. Instead of sparking attraction, it starts to feel like a ritual you perform just to keep her attention. And nothing kills desire faster than predictability. Think about it from her perspective. At first, that text might make her smile. But after the 5th, 10th, or 20th night in a row, it loses its power. It's no longer about her. It's about your need to feel like you did something to keep her interested. That's not romance. That's insecurity wrapped in flattery. A man who's secure in himself doesn't have to remind a woman every night that she's beautiful. She should already feel it from the way he carries himself when they're together. The real danger is this. When your texts become predictable, she stops feeling the spark. Women crave emotional variety, Surprise, tension, curiosity. If she knows exactly what text is coming from you before she even opens her phone, there's no excitement left. Instead of her heart skipping when she sees your name, she rolls her eyes and thinks, "Yep, another goodnight text." That's how you slide from potential lover to background noise. Here's the stronger move. Mix it up. Don't send the same bedtime routine like a broken record. Some nights, don't text her at all. Let her feel your absence. Other nights, send something playful, teasing, or light that makes her laugh before bed. And sometimes, keep her guessing by leaving the night on a high note earlier in the conversation instead of dragging it out with the same recycled "good night, beautiful." That unpredictability is what keeps her emotionally hooked. So remember, it's not about avoiding goodnight texts altogether, it's about avoiding the pattern. A powerful man doesn't need a nightly ritual to prove his interest. He creates moments that feel fresh, unexpected, and exciting. And that's what makes her check her phone, wondering what you'll say next, instead of yawning at the same line she's already memorized. Point 3. Never send long emotional paragraphs at night. This one destroys attraction faster than almost anything else. Late at night, when emotions run high, a lot of men feel the urge to pour out their feelings. They type out paragraphs about how much they like her, how much they miss her, or how she makes them feel. They think it's romantic, but in reality, it's suffocating. Instead of creating desire, those emotional essays make you look dependent, like your entire mood depends on her response. That's not attractive. That's pressure. Here's the truth. Women respect a man who can control his emotions, not one who dumps them in her inbox at 11 p.m. Attraction thrives on mystery and restraint, not oversharing. When you send long paragraphs, you strip away all mystery. You give her everything at once, and instead of feeling excited, she feels overwhelmed. She doesn't think, "Wow, he's so deep." She thinks, "Why is he unloading all of this on me right now? Why does this feel so heavy?" That heaviness kills the playful, fun energy that actually builds connection. And here's the psychological kicker. When you confess too much too soon, you rob her of the chase. Part of attraction is her wondering, does he like me as much as I like him? What's he really feeling? That curiosity keeps her hooked. But when you drop a late-night essay about your feelings, she doesn't have to wonder anymore. You've given her all the answers, and once the mystery is gone, so is the excitement. The stronger move is this. Keep your late-night texts light, short, and intriguing. If you want to say something sweet, make it playful, not heavy. If you want to show interest, do it with confidence, not desperation. And most importantly, know when to end the conversation. Sometimes the sexiest thing you can do is leave her smiling at her phone, wishing you had said more instead of burying her under a wall of words. So never send emotional paragraphs at night. Save depth for when you're together in person, where your tone, presence, and energy carry the weight, not a desperate late-night text. Because the man who can keep things light, controlled, and mysterious is the man she thinks about as she drifts off to sleep. And that's how you create obsession without saying too much. Point 4. Stop double texting. When she doesn't reply. This is where so many men sabotage themselves without even realizing it. It's late, you send her a message, and she doesn't reply right away. Minutes pass, then an hour, and your mind starts racing. Did she see it? Did I say something wrong? Maybe I should send another one just to keep the conversation alive. And that's the moment most men fall into the trap. They send a second text, sometimes even a third, trying to spark a response. What does that really communicate? That you're restless, needy, and desperate for her attention. Here's the harsh truth. If she didn't respond to the first message, your second one doesn't make her more interested. It makes her less. Women don't think, "Wow, he must really care about me." They think, "He can't even hold himself together when I don't reply right away." That loss of composure kills attraction instantly. A man who double texts at night isn't mysterious. He's predictable, and predictability breeds boredom, not desire. The stronger move is this: send your message once, then let it breathe. If she doesn't reply, you don't chase. You don't question it. You don't try harder. You simply carry on with your night. Maybe you hit the gym, read a book, finish work, or go to bed. The point is, your life doesn't pause just because her typing bubbles didn't appear. That's how you communicate value, not with words, but with your self-control. And here's the psychological twist. When she finally sees your text and realizes you didn't double message, you stand out. Most guys would have folded under the pressure, but you didn't. That difference plants curiosity in her mind. Why didn't he chase? Why is he so calm about it? Does he even care as much as I thought? That uncertainty fuels attraction. It makes her lean in instead of pulling away. So burn this into your mind. Double texting is desperation in disguise. It doesn't make you look persistent. It makes you look powerless. The man who can stay silent when she's silent is the man she can't stop thinking about. Because self-control is rare. And rarity is what women obsess over. Point 5. Don't send late night, "What are you doing?" Texts on the surface, it seems harmless. You're curious. You want to keep the conversation alive, so you type out the classic, "What are you doing?" But here's the problem. At night, that question doesn't come across as confident or intriguing. It comes across as boring, predictable, and even needy. You're basically telling her, "I have nothing going on, and I'm hoping you'll entertain me." And that vibe kills attraction instantly. Think about it. A high-value man doesn't sit around fishing for updates. He doesn't need to know her every move because he's too focused on his own. When you send, "What are you doing?" late at night, you're signaling that her life is more interesting than yours, that you're waiting for her to fill your empty space. That's not attractive. That's dependency. And women can smell that weakness a mile away. Now here's the kicker. Even if she does respond, the conversation usually goes nowhere. She might say, "Just watching Netflix," or "Getting ready for bed." And where do you go from there? Nowhere. You've cornered yourself into small talk that feels dull and forced. Instead of building desire, you've drained the energy out of the moment. She doesn't go to bed thinking about you. She goes to bed thinking about how flat the conversation was. The stronger move? Never initiate with filler questions. If you're going to text at night, it should spark emotion, not boredom. A playful tease, a confident statement, or even leaving her on a high note earlier in the day is far more powerful than dragging things on with, "What are you doing?" Better yet, sometimes the best move is no text at all. Let her wonder what you're doing. That mystery is 1,000 times more attractive than announcing you're bored. Remember this: every text you send either builds attraction or kills it. "What are you doing?" is one of the quickest ways to suffocate the spark because it shows you're not leading the interaction. You're waiting for her to lead you. And no woman desires the man who sits around waiting. She desires the man who's busy, focused, and lets her imagination run wild when he's not texting. So burn this rule into your mind. Late night, "What are you doing?" Texts aren't harmless. They're lethal. Drop them from your game, and you'll instantly separate yourself from the crowd of men who don't know any better. Point 6. Never send drunk or overly late emotional texts. This one is a silent killer of attraction because it exposes weakness instantly. Picture this. It's 1 a.m., you've had a few drinks, and your emotions are running high. Instead of holding your frame, you grab your phone and type out something like, "I miss you so much," or "Why aren't you replying to me?" Maybe you even confess feelings you've been holding back, thinking the late night moment makes it romantic. But here's the reality. those texts don't make you look passionate. They make you look unstable. Women know when a man is reaching out late at night because he's bored, lonely, or intoxicated. And instead of seeing it as charming, they see it as a red flag. Attraction thrives on control and composure. The moment you lose that, especially under the influence, you shift from being intriguing to being a burden. She doesn't wake up smiling at your midnight paragraph. She wakes up questioning your self-discipline. And nothing kills desire faster than the thought that you can't manage your emotions. Here's the deeper psychology. When you send drunk or late emotional texts, you're handing over all your power. You're showing her that she occupies so much of your mind that you can't even go through a night without reaching out in desperation. That doesn't make her crave you. It makes her comfortable knowing you'll always be there, no matter how little she invests. Comfort is the enemy of obsession. The stronger move? Simple. Put the phone down. If you've been drinking, your phone should never be in your hand when emotions are high. If it's late and you're tempted to send something heavy, remind yourself. Attraction isn't built on impulse. It's built on control. When you stay silent instead of sending that emotional flood, you protect your value. And the next day, she's not rolling her eyes at your messages. She's wondering what you were doing, why you didn't text, and who had your attention instead. So never, ever hit send on those late-night drunk texts. They don't make her miss you, they don't make her want you more, and they definitely don't build attraction. What they do is expose insecurity. The man who can stay disciplined when emotions are at their highest is the man she respects, craves, and eventually obsesses over. Point 7. Don't beg for attention. With, "Why aren't you replying?" This is the ultimate attraction killer. Nothing screams weakness louder than a man texting, "Why aren't you replying?" Or, "Did I do something wrong?" Late at night. You might think you're being honest or showing that you care, but what you're really doing is exposing insecurity. You're basically telling her, "My emotions are tied to your response. I can't handle your silence." That's not masculine. That's needy. Here's the harsh truth. No woman lies in bed thinking, "Wow, I love how he begged for my attention tonight." Instead, she feels pressure. She feels like you're putting her in the role of caretaker for your feelings. And attraction dies the second she feels you need her more than she needs you. You've gone from being the man she was curious about to the man she feels sorry for. And pity is never the emotion you want to create. The psychology behind this is simple. Women respect men who stay calm under uncertainty. When she goes quiet and you stay composed, you show strength. When you chase her silence with questions, you show weakness. And once she pegs you as the guy who panics when she doesn't reply, she knows she has you in her pocket. No challenge, no tension, no respect. The stronger move is to embrace the silence. If she's not replying, you don't point it out, you don't question it, and you definitely don't guilt her for it. You stay centered. You let her feel the gap without trying to fill it. Because here's the secret. Silence can build attraction if you handle it correctly. When she notices you didn't chase or beg, she starts wondering, why isn't he bothered? Is he talking to someone else? Did I lose some of his attention? That curiosity is 10 times more powerful than anything you could write. So burn this into your mind. Never send a late-night text that demands her attention. It makes you look powerless. Instead, hold your frame, keep your composure, and let her feel the tension of your absence. Because the man who doesn't beg for replies is the man she can't stop thinking about. Conclusion. Now you see the truth about late-night texting. Most men think they're being sweet, romantic, or persistent. But what they're really doing is draining attraction with weak messages. Are you awake? Makes you look bored. Good night, beautiful. Every single night makes you predictable. Long emotional paragraphs overwhelm her. Double texting exposes your desperation. And, "What are you doing?" screams you have nothing going on. Add in drunk texts or begging for replies, and you've officially erased all mystery, all strength, and all attraction. But the man who understands this plays on a different level. He never floods her with weak energy at night. Instead, he creates mystery. He lets her feel his absence. He stays disciplined, composed, and intentional. That's what makes her think about him as she falls asleep. That's what makes her wake up wondering why he hasn't blown up her phone. And that curiosity is the seed of obsession. Attraction isn't built in long essays or needy check-ins. It's built in control, restraint, and confidence. When you master the art of holding back, you become rare. And in a world full of men who beg for attention, rarity is irresistible.